Baby told me.
What'd she say?
She loved another man. Oh, have mercy. Said I didn't fit into her lofty plans. Now she's gone. You know nothing goes.
Where you sitting?
I'm sitting on top of the world. Long as you're alive, you're sitting on top.
Long as you're alive.
You know, little girl, there was a time I didn't even know your name. Why should I worry? Little girl,
You will see Ultimate Fighting Championship.
now you're gone. You know I shouldn't worry.
Shouldn't worry.
I'm sitting on top of the world. Help me out a little bit, Pat.
Hey guys. How's everybody doing? It is Sunday, November 24. Welcome to episode 18 of Please Remain Seated. I'm glad you're with me. Glad you're willing to listen to me on this podcast. Pretty good episode tonight. A lot going on. This impeachment deal's crazy, isn't it? I mean, it really is. There's no way that this impeachment process plays out in which our country is not damaged. Every possible way this plays out could damage our country. That's how much the Democrats have put winning above the good of the country. So President Trump comes out a couple days ago and says, I want a trial. I hope the inquiry is successful because I want an impeachment trial. I kind of get where he's coming from because he knows they really don't have anything. It could just embarrass them more. But this whole process is the biggest sham that I've seen. So what's the bombshell recently? The bombshell is Sondland supposedly flipped on Trump. So funny. Sondland flipped on Trump supposedly because he said, you know what, there was quid pro quo. And then they said, well, what did the president want? Well, he said he didn't want anything. Okay, so it was quid pro quo, and the president then said he didn't want anything from Ukraine. Yeah, I just assumed that it was the Biden investigation. Come on, Sondland. It's so ridiculous. So ridiculous. It's even hard to talk about. And now, let's see, just a few hours ago, or less than a day ago, Lindsey Graham introduced his desire to open up an inquiry into Biden and Burisma. This is just going crazy. It's going absolutely nutso. I really don't know what we're going to do to correct this, but it's really gone crazy. And you can't just lose an election and then call for impeachment. And guess what? As far as I know, quid pro quo by itself is not impeachable, even if he did it. There's got to be a reason to his own personal benefit. And if you're going to try to sell me on the fact that he's scared of Joe Biden in a presidential election, that's hilarious. I don't know why that is continuing coming up, because I don't see a scenario in which he is concerned at all with racing against Joe Biden. I just don't. So this is just a far-reaching ploy by the left to get the president out of there. They have to get him out of there because they don't want him to get reelected. They don't want him to announce another justice. They don't want him to move forward with the things he's doing. They want to get back to business as usual. the left. That's interesting, right? The left, the right, the independents. You know, we're supposed to be one country. We're so far from that. So far. There's an article today in the Washington Post in which the title is Barack Obama, the Conservative. And some of you out there might laugh at that, but you know what? It's not that far off. The left has moved so far to the left that Barack is a conservative now. That's how crazy it is. That's how insane it is. What else is going on out there? In the world of football, you probably heard of Myles Garrett hitting quarterback Mason Rudolph of the Steelers. Myles Garrett of the Browns hitting Mason Rudolph with his helmet during a fight during the game. He took Rudolph's helmet off and struck him with it like a weapon. Well, he was suspended indefinitely. He was suspended indefinitely for doing that. And, you know, so what that means is the NFL hasn't decided when and if he'll get to come back. And then, lo and behold, this week, Myles Garrett said, I forgot to tell everyone, before I struck him with the helmet, he called me the N-word. How convenient. And that's supposed to excuse striking someone with the helmet, right? So out of nowhere now, the Pittsburgh quarterback, who is white, was struck by his helmet because the player was mad because he was called the N-word. Hard to buy it. I kind of doubt he called him that, because if he had, I think there would have been multiple players mad at him instead of just one. Anyway, the NFL did not fall for that trick. They upheld their suspension and their indefinite suspension, so I'm glad about that. But once again, you see people using triggers to try and circumvent punishment because he thought that it would work. Really ridiculous. Really ridiculous, and it really weakens true racism when things like that happen. Really disappointing. What else is going on? By the way, today they held the Browns and Steelers played again, and the Steelers would not let Mason Rudolph play for fear that he would be targeted by Cleveland Brown defenders. And maybe that's true. I don't know. I just don't know. I heard today that Colin Kaepernick has not been approached by any NFL teams, despite his recent workout at Atlanta High School. So glad to hear that. The guy's an average. He's a mediocre quarterback who became a star from what he did on the sideline, and he really doesn't need to be in the NFL anymore. And quite frankly, I don't think he wants to be. I think he just wants to be a martyr. So he's probably happy that no teams are interested. I mean, it's really crazy that he even gets the press that he gets. It really is. You know, I spend a lot of time listening to comedians. I love comedy, and I hear a lot of jokes. But no joke is funnier than someone telling me Colin Kaepernick is an elite quarterback. That's hilarious. He is anything but. Very, very, very mediocre. So that's the latest on those two things. I did also hear, and I haven't substantiated this, but multiple sources have stated that Colin Kaepernick is really not pretty indifferent about social justice. He only got involved because he wanted to impress a woman. And really, can I fault him for that? Can I fault him for that? But that's really what it's all about. He wasn't even into it, except that he was trying to impress a woman when all this started. and it ended his NFL career. Shout out to my friend Jerry McStitt, Dover, Oklahoma, Kingfisher County. He has challenged Colin Kaepernick to a boxing match, a 12-round boxing match. And you can look him up on Facebook, Jerry McStitt, to see his call-out video. I think it's top-notch call-out. I think Colin Kaepernick should be shaking in his boots at the thought of the great Jerry McStitt coming out of retirement to do battle with him in the ring. I think that would be great, and I would pay pay-per-view for that in a heartbeat. How exciting. What else is going on? We had some boxing last night. We had the heavyweight champion. What's the dadgum heavyweight champion's name? Are you serious? Am I drawing a blank right now? Am I going to have to go to the iPhone? Dante, what's his name? Let's go to the iPhone here. Let's see, what do we have here? Trying to think. How could I possibly have forgotten that? I don't know. But we're about to figure it out. Deontay Wilder. He is the heavyweight champion of the world.
You have a text
message. And I have a text message. He was going up against Ruiz last night in a rematch, and Ruiz was doing quite well. But Deontay Wilder, let me tell you something, guys, is absolutely phenomenal in terms of his ability to be a power puncher. And Deontay got the knockout in the 7th round with, an absolute cannon of a right hand. It's like his right hand literally turned into a cannon. I'm not real sure that his fist did not come out of the back of Ruiz's head. That's how amazing it was. What a KO. I'm not a big modern boxing fan, but let me tell you, I haven't seen anybody hit harder than Deontay Wilder. Not in MMA, and not in boxing, and not ever. Francis Ngannou in MMA can't hold a candle to this guy's punching power. This guy's got real power. If he hit somebody with an MMA glove, they would probably be dead. It's incredible. Just one straight right hand that didn't even look like it had 60% of his full power on it. And this guy was knocked into another dimension. He was laying there with his eyes open, just smashed him. So I'm excited to see his rematch coming up with Tyson Fury, which they said should be slated for February. So look out for Deontay Wilder and the Bronze Bomber. And my apologies, champ, for forgetting your name. But again, Deontay Wilder, the Bronze Bomber. 6'7", 209 pounds, I think. And he fights heavyweight. This guy's not big, but he's powerful and tall. What else going on? Floyd Money Mayweather announced that he's coming out of retirement in 2020, and he'll be working with UFC President Dana White on a big, big event. That's all we know. We don't know if it's boxing We don't know if it's MMA. We don't know if it's a hybrid. We don't know if it's against Conor, against Khabib, against another boxer. We don't know. But look out, because Floyd Money Mayweather is back in combat sports. So I don't know. My guess is could be a rematch with Conor. I don't know. I don't know what they're cooking up, but I'll be watching. No doubt about that. I'll be watching. You see, I have my Pokes hat on for a few reasons. Number one, this is my favorite terminology for the OSU mascot instead of the Cowboys, because in my world, Cowboys are in Dallas. Pokes is more of a kind of a cowhand term. It also can be a little sexually deviant if you want it to be. So just take it how you will. But it's a fun name. It's just a fun name. I got this hat on because we're Bedlam Week and I support both schools. I didn't go to either school, okay? I went to Northeastern State and from there, North Texas. And also Redlands. I went to Redlands as well. So I don't pick an OU or OSU. Because if I do, then I'm screwing myself out of half my sports fun. And why the heck would I do that? Why the heck would I do that? So, I support both schools, and I'm excited for both schools. And I don't care who wins Bedlam. I mean, OU's not going to win the national title. OSU's not going to win the title. So just go out there, play your hearts out, see who wins. See who wins. NBA news, Golden State is still struggling mightily. I think that's pretty funny. They are so bad they make the Thunder look good. I think we're going to change our name from perhaps the Thunder to the Scattered Clouds. Because I'm not sure we have much thunder these days. But at least we're playing hard. At least we're playing hard. What else is going on? I did see that, is it Gutenberg has joined the Democratic presidential race? Former mayor of New York, I think. No, Bloomberg rather. Bloomberg is into the political race. I'm a little bit surprised by that. But they don't have anybody, so he's probably just thinking he can jump in and maybe get popularity from it, because I don't really see anyone beating Trump. I think it's so funny. Trump is on trial. Trump is getting an impeachment inquiry. There's nothing he's done. Everything they're saying for these witnesses is, well, I think he did this. Well, I think he did that. Well, it's my understanding he was trying to do this. And they ask questions like, how did it make you feel when Trump started tweeting you? This is when they're talking to Ambassador, whatever her name is. But Trump starts bashing her on Twitter during her testimony. And of course, Schiff stops the procedure and tells everyone that Trump is tweeting and talks about the tweets, which she wouldn't have even known about if he hadn't brought it up. And then wants to know how she feels. Do you feel intimidated? Of course, she said, yes, I feel intimidated. Oh, give me a break. Give me a break. Let me tell you something, lefties. You can't be impeached for making a phone call that doesn't do something impeachable, and including the quid pro quo. There's going to be a reason, and the reason was legitimate. He wanted to know what's going on with Burisma. He's not worried about Joe Biden. In fact, I don't think he's worried about any of them. You know, Pocahontas, Kamala, any of them. It's crazy. You know, you can't get impeached for being an asshole. Somebody hear that? You can't get impeached for being an asshole. You lost. Trump won. Get over it. Let's make the best country we can while we have him. What are we doing? Impeachment inquiry? Give me a freaking break. So what? He's rough around the edges. Maybe he's an asshole. It happens. It happens. He's doing a pretty damn good job overall. You know. Get over it. Get over it. I just think this should get stupider by the minute. Schiff is not allowing Republicans to call witnesses. Ukraine has actually got evidence they're trying to give the USA. Schiff won't accept it. This just gets crazier and crazier by the minute. Let's see. So Friday night, November 22nd, I got to go see the Shane Smith and the Saints concert by my office over at Tower Theater. This is a great rootsy Americana band out of Texas. Just great music, good time. I was amazed at how good this young man is and his lyrics. And I was also amazed by the fact that their tour bus had burned to the frame, burned completely down 2 days before this concert. And they had still played Lubbock the night of the fire and then OKC the next night. So look up Shane Smith and the Saints. Great music. They even did a tribute to my favorite band, Turnpike Troubadours, who they said got them started. So I was so proud to have seen them and enjoyed their show. So, what else is going on? OSU snuck by West Virginia. I expected that. I would like to see that OSU running back into the Heisman race. I think he's leading the nation rushing. He might as well be in the race. Jalen Hurts is still doing well, but I don't think he is a Heisman type. I don't think he's that good. Maybe it'll be the guy from Ohio State. I don't know. But we'll see. Maybe OU's back in the playoff race. Maybe not. They need to win big at Bedlam to get back in there. Or to have a shot at getting back in there. So we'll see. I'm trying to think what else is going on. We've got no UFC fights this weekend. All we have was the Deontay Wilder boxing match. There was a Bellator event in London, but who cares about Bellator? I mean, what a yawn fest. What a really, really big yawn fest that is. My favorite film of recent times, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, released on digital Friday, released on Blu-ray December 10th. If you have not seen this masterpiece by Quentin Tarantino, I highly recommend it. Phenomenal film. His 9th film, phenomenal film. If you haven't seen it, get right out there and see it. Let's see, I think tomorrow night I'm going to go see Purple Rain, featuring my favorite artist of all time, Prince, at the Tower Theater. They're having a special showing. Looking forward to that. And we'll lead into Thanksgiving week. I love that because I love to stop and be thankful. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my work. I'm thankful for my intelligence. I'm thankful for my experiences. I'm thankful for the people in my life that are there for me. I'm thankful for so many things. But you know what I don't say I am? I don't say I'm blessed. I don't like that term. I don't like it. Because can you be blessed without the unblessed? I don't think so. You can damn sure be thankful and humble, but I'm not sure you can be blessed without acknowledging those who are not. So when I think of what most people say as blessed, I think of being in the providence of the Lord and how thankful I am for that. But I never answer somebody when they say, "How are you doing?" I would never say, "I'm blessed," because that would mean someone else is not. And to go a step further, in the urban community, a lot of times you'll hear, "I'm highly favored and blessed." I would never say that. That is very arrogant. Very, very arrogant. Be thankful. Be humble. Let the Lord decide who's blessed. That's my mantra. And if you do find yourself in the providence of the Lord, be thankful for that as well. I went on a tangent recently about that, about people saying they're blessed, and that's my take on it. I really don't think people say it from a good place. You know, when you do your Facebook picture, you just put the word blessed over it or something. Forget that crap, man. Be thankful. Be thankful. The Lord decides who's blessed. That's my opinion. I really hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving. I know I've got some friends that are traveling a long ways. I hope those trips go well. I plan to see my family, watch a lot of sports, see what's going on with all of that. What's going on with the UFC stuff? Let's see, we have a big one coming up. The 14th of December, we have Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington for the 170 title. Very exciting. My guy, Ben Askren. Ben Askren retired this week. I'm very sad about that. I was a big fan of Ben's. About 1 year after he announced he was coming to the UFC, in the trade that took Mighty Mouse to one championship, he is now retired. He went 1-2, choking out Robbie Lawler, and then losing in 5 seconds to Jorge Masvidal, and then losing just a masterful grappling display against Damian Maia. He said he's leaving because he needs hip replacement from his years of wrestling. I'm sad about that because Ben brought some excitement back to the UFC, some Chael Sonnen-like excitement that I think will be missed. So Ben, Funky, if you're out there, thank you for coming to the UFC. Thank you for bringing your style, your wit, your energy. It was a fun year, and I was glad you were there. I turned my sights to the 185 division. You know, Israel Adesanya is atop that division. And isn't he fun, guys? Isn't the last Stylebender fun? He has been in a war with John Bones Jones recently. They've been going back and forth, but I agree with him that he doesn't need to move to 185 to 205 and take on Bones right now. Let's just stay where we are and defend the 185 belt. Bones isn't going anywhere. Bones is not going anywhere. Yoel Romero has been calling out Adesanya for a shot at his 185 belt. I love that fight. Romero's so explosive, and yet Adesanya is so precision with his striking. I hope that fight happens. You know, in the most successful minor league MMA is Bellator. And someone asked me on Twitter what I thought about Rafael Lovato, the Bellator 185 champion, taking on Israel Adesanya, the UFC 185 champion. And here's my honest take on it. I think it would go very poorly for Lovato. I think the striking of Adesanya is too good. And yes, Lovato's a much better grappler than Adesanya. But Adesanya's grappling is light years ahead of Lovato's striking. And every round starts on the feet. And I would have to see Lovato in the UFC fighting at that true professional level out of the minor leagues before I could give you a real assessment. But right off the top of my head, I'd have to go with Adesanya in the second round. TKO. That's my thought. What else is going on? I hope we see that Tony Ferguson-Khabib fight. I really do. I really, really do. If we don't get that fight, something bad is wrong. Something bad is really, really wrong with the UFC. Because that fight's been in order for far too long. Far too long. I don't know what's going to happen now. Leave it in the comments if you know what happens now that I think the House impeachment inquiry is over. What happens now? Leave it in the comments if you know. I'm so ready for this stuff to go away. I think this is Trump on trial for being an asshole. And you can't get impeached for being an asshole. I'm so glad to see, speaking of assholes, I'm so glad to see that Timothy Harper of Tuttle, Oklahoma is still behind bars. The infamous News Now OKC idiot that goes around filming people in their jobs, putting AK-47s in people's faces, is still in jail. He has not produced any more YouTube content, and good riddance to this jerk. I'm so glad his channel's silent. I hope we never see him again. Timothy Harper is an embarrassment to anyone that supports the Second Amendment. Really is. Ridiculous. What else? Saw some really bad calls. My Dallas Cowboys got beat by the New England Patriots today, 13-9. And this brings them down to 6-5. Still leading the lowly NFC East. But I just think they're not going to be able to get anywhere with Jason Garrett as the coach. I like him. I have his jersey. But it's time for Jason Garrett to go. It really is. I mean, they just can't get over the hump. They can't get to the next level because Garrett's not that next level coach. And neither is Lincoln Riley. If they bring Lincoln Riley in, it would be a huge mistake. They need a proven professional and somebody that's going to come in and make a real difference. So I hope Jones makes that choice soon. Got some sweet tea from Earl's Barbecue here. And honestly, it's a bit sweet. I think I may put it on a waffle later. It's so sweet. What else going on? I'm reading a book right now called Brother Sam about the late great comedian Sam Kinison. Just to learn a little bit more about him. He's an interesting guy because he goes from being a Pentecostal preacher to one of the bluest comedians you'll ever think you would hear. And his story so far is very interesting. Who likes can you see my retro UFC shirt? This is the original logo from 1993. You know, I was at UFC 4 in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and that was quite an event. I was glad to be there. I saw Hoist Gracie triangle choke Dan Severn about 45 minutes into the fight. It was a good time. I still think mixed martial arts is one of the most pure sporting events out there, and definitely the most pure combat sports, for sure. So I thought I'd rock the retro UFC logo. And again, the only major league MMA organization in the world currently, as far as I'm concerned. One championship might get mad at that. I don't care if they get mad at that. I hope they do. I hope they blow my feet up. Ridiculous. There's only one. If you want to be a pro, you fight in the UFC. Otherwise, you're a semi-pro. Period. Period. End of discussion. What else is going on? There's so many big fights coming up. You know, again, I'm looking forward to Colby and Kamaru Usman. I think Kamaru just can't understand that Colby's playing a heel, like in pro wrestling. And Kamaru just keeps getting in the way of that. I just can't believe he doesn't have more sense on how these things work. But I'm so pumped for that fight in mid-December. Oh, I did watch a documentary the other day called The Game Changers. What a bunch of propaganda crap this is. It was a vegetarian documentary. And it was produced by James Cameron and Arnold Schwarzenegger was in it. other people. Jackie Chan was also a producer. It was full of fallacies about the benefits of being an omnivore and a carnivore. And it was just absolutely crazy that the connections they made about athletes reaching their best levels without meeting their diet. So crazy. If you do watch it, you need to go watch the accompanying Joe Rogan podcast, in which he has Dr. Kessler on his podcast, who debunks the whole movie. Debunks the entire movie. It's just a propaganda tool for the industry. I don't care how you look at it. The guy tries to say that a spoonful of peanut butter has more protein than 4 ounces of steak. Not only is that not true, but even if it were, it wouldn't be the same quality protein, wouldn't have the same amino acid chain, or any of that. So anyway, if you watch the Game Changers, you get hyped up, please watch Joe Rogan. I believe it's episode 1389 to see the rebuttal to that movie. Because it is a bunch of garbage. Take Cam Newton, for example. This guy was quarterback of the Carolina Panthers. Well, he went vegan this year. He said his worst season ever. He's about to go on injured reserve. His body is completely rejecting this vegetarian lifestyle. And they try to tell you the opposite on the film. Just crazy. They actually try to tell you that the Roman gladiators were vegetarians because that's what made them strong. Hilarious. They were vegetarians because all they would give them are beans because they were slaves. You idiots. Who's believing this crap? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Suck it up, people. Suck it up. Get a steak. Get a sip of whiskey. Read a book. Love America. Do what's right. Be your best. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Look forward to seeing you next week. Please remain seated. Please subscribe. Please comment. Please like. Please dislike. Let's have a great time next week. Happy Thanksgiving. See you guys soon. I look forward to your comments. And well, why not go out like we came in with Dr. Harold Aldridge, Tahlequah, Oklahoma, sitting on top of the world. Thanks for watching. Sweet.
Told me she loved another man. Lord have mercy. Well, I didn't fit into her lofty glance. Now she's gone. You know what I wrote. I'm sitting on top of the world. Long as you're alive, you're sitting on top of the world.